you know, 7 to 10 beers a week. I don't have an issue. And I was in that place too. I mean, I would have a glass of wine at the end of the day, and every so often I would get shithoused. And it really is like you were saying, it's a momentum game. So I was like at the precipice of success. I was at the precipice of relational greatness. I was at the precipice of a tribe that really could foster and hold the me that I was trying to embody and become. But, and you said this in your post earlier so beautifully, the threshold for me was alcohol. And for so many years I denied it because I was like, it's just so little. It's every now and then. But when I really looked at it, it was what kept me from what I wasn't willing to feel. And so that's where things shifted. And it's been almost 5 months now.
Good for you.
The first couple months were really hard. And I wish so badly that I would have had something like this, because I was kind of at it alone. You know, I had support of certain people, but it wasn't like a group container that we're creating that's going to make the shift for you.
Yeah, I went through it primarily alone as well. And I'm very fortunate to have some really, really great best friends. But also they were like, are you sure? And I remember a number of people saying this: if you're an alcoholic, we're all alcoholics. I went, okay, what if I'm not an alcoholic, but I want to do this anyway? Why is that confronting to you? Cool, I'm not an alcoholic. I actually don't think I'm an alcoholic, right? 10 beers a week, yeah. But here's what I'll say that I've said very publicly many times. If I took everything that I was using to numb myself and put it in a bottle, we added all the shit up, that would have been a heavy habit. That would have been like, oh, wow, I'll wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I can't sleep. I'll smoke a joint. A lot of normal people don't do that. So tell me, if you would, about what is one of the unintended consequences for you? Like that you didn't think it was going to happen, but holy shit, it happened. And now it's part of your day to day.
Yeah. So much of my life was predicated on the notion that alcohol equals fun. Alcohol equals celebration. Alcohol equals victory. All these correlations that I had created and programmed in my mind. And when I first quit drinking, I was like, well, this sucks. Like, I guess there's no more celebration or victory or any of the other things. And I grieved that and I believed that until all of a sudden, like you were saying, I wake up Sunday morning, I'm like, whoo, I feel good. I'm going to go to the gym, meet new people at the gym. It's almost like sobriety has become the new drug, right? Like when you're 16 and you first start drinking, and it's kind of like, whoo, that's how it feels for me now.
Right. Beautiful. Finish that thought, please.
Yeah, just in every way. You know, I was just thinking about like dating and relationships and how alcohol was like this bridge, right? So it's like, okay, we're going to come together and we're going to go deep because there's a glass of wine here. And it actually was a wall in a way, right? Because like the next day sober, it wasn't that same level of intimacy, right? That we're all really looking for. So as I started to step back into the relationship container, whether that be dating or friendship, the level of intimacy was so much more authentic. Oh, wow. Truer and spicier and sexier and richer. And I never would have expected that.
Yeah. Does that surprise anybody on here? I know some of you are hiding, but does that surprise anybody? Because I've said very publicly that presence and intimacy became my new drug. Presence and intimacy. And I would get off, like, sitting across the table from someone having a cup of coffee and being like, I can't believe this is what we're talking about. That it's this fucking juicy. That life is just this rich and juicy and amazing. And I did write it today that I believe still that the reason I don't want to go back is the entry fee. Like it really was like, here's the gate. Here's all the shit you've always wanted. the conversations, this whole thing, the business, the movement, the body, the feelings, the relationships, the kind of sex, all of it. It's right up here. It's right up here. You want it? You want it? I was like, I want it. Oh, you just got to leave that shit behind. You can't pass through here with that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but in the Bud Light commercial, everybody has a bikini on and they seem to be having so much fun. You fucking liars. Sorry, I'm a little bit fired up tonight. It felt like such that to me. So anybody listening, I want you to think, literally think, what is it? How is it that you want to live? Mm. What is this vision for yourself? I actually think we have some people who were given that complete assignment to people who have already enrolled in the course to write up or record the vision they have for their lives. And I know you guys, it's a daunting task. It's not something you sit down with for 5 minutes and be like, okay, this. When we do that, we often just make a shopping list. I'm like, okay, my vision has a Lamborghini. My vision has a mansion. But it really is, what do you want to be contributing? Mm. And what reality, this is the best way I can probably state it. What reality do you want to be waking up into?
How do you want to feel? That's really important. Like, that's where it starts, right? Like, that's what we're really after with the mansion or the bikini or the person is we want to feel joy. We want to feel connection. We want to feel confidence. So in your vision, I want you to incorporate, like, close your eyes and, like, think of your highest self, your most embodied self, your biggest self, your boldest self. How does she or he feel when they wake up in the morning, when they transition throughout their day, when they go to bed at night? What does that feel like?
Does that not fire anybody else up but me and Courtney? Like, I'm sitting like, yeah. Play with these ideas, right? There's something that you want. There's something that you want to give. There's some way you want to express yourself in the world. Be it a relationship, be it a business, be it a service, be it an artistic pursuit, be it a physicality, be it something. I simply don't believe that humans, like, we don't get to that point where, like, oh, I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm just expressed all my stuff. I'm out. I think there's always a next level, and always a next level. And so I'll ask you blatantly, is how you're living, whether you're drinking or not, whether like, we have people in this course and on this call, like, I don't drink, but I'm stuck. Is what is sticking you worth keeping? Is it worth keeping? And are you willing to let it go if for nothing else than an experiment? Right? One of my greatest teachers, Kobe Kozlowski, always fucks with me and goes like, well, what if it was just an experiment, Trevor? I'm like, oh, that makes it so doable. It gets rid of all my excuses. So what if it was just an experiment? Did you start this as an experiment for yourself, Court, do you think?
Definitely. It was like 6 months, just going to put that time aside. I'm not committing to anything more than 6 months because I knew my mind would freak out if I did. And now I am 5 months in, like I said, and there's no way that I'm stopping at 5 months. And so now I'm at a year, and that's what I'm playing with now. And that's what works for me, is like, this is just going to continue to be an experiment.
Yeah. I actually started with a year because for how many people is, like, forever the most daunting thing on earth? Like, oh, forever? Like, that's like soul crushing. That doesn't work well. There's a reason why we give people cheat meals in dietary programs. There's a reason you get day off. So your brain's like, cool, I can go this segment. I actually sat down with a woman it was so comfortable to talk to a woman who was also said, like, I went to AA and they really freaked me out too. And I just didn't think it was for me. So I just made the decision and I stopped, or I made the decision to go a year. And she said, if you make a decision to go a year and you don't do it, you really may want to re-examine that. You really may want to dive deeper into it. If you make a decision for a year and you get to the year mark you can reassess and reevaluate. And you know that unless you're lying in bed like 6 nights a week sweating, you're probably okay to add something back in or change your relationship with alcohol.
And this is just 3 months.
This is just 3 months. Court, let's talk about our 1-2 punch.
Let's talk about it.
I want to talk about why we are doing this together and the benefit of having someone who maybe, well, we're both easily fucking excitable. I want to see you start bouncing in a second. Give me a little bit, if you would, about how you coach and how you work with people.
Sure. So I believe that all of the treasures are deeper than here. Okay. So that's where most of us operate, is above the neck. And most of you, no, all of you have been to every corner of your mind. You have. And then you just end up oscillating in fear, oscillating in stuckness, oscillating in scarcity, and trying to think your way out doesn't work, right? So where I take people is below the neck. You're like, wait, what does that mean, below the neck? So your body, like feeling into what's in your body. Your programs are in your body. Your stories are in your body. Your limiting beliefs are in your body. So the way I work with people is, let's get to know what's going on a deeper level than the mind.
Beautiful.
And what kind of coach are you, Trevor?
Well, I'll get to that in a second, but tell me about how you work with people's wounds or their hearts as well. That's not as much my expertise.
Definitely. So we kind of live in this culture where it's like, suck it up, shake it off, get over it. Has that worked for like any of you for a consistent period of time? Absolutely not. So these places inside of us, these triggers, these repressed wounds, we just continue to beat them up. And then we're like, why the hell am I not changing? Because it's just not something that works. So for me, of course, radical responsibility all the way, every fucking day. But gentle is the way. So show me where your bruises are. Show me where your wounds are. Show me where your pain is. And that's where we're going to start to be tender. And that's where we're going to start to love on. And that's where we're going to start to integrate. Because these parts don't trust you. These parts you've been beating up on, they don't trust you. And that's why you're conflicted. That's why you're stuck. Does that make sense, Trevor?
Hey, you're going to make me cry. Yes, it makes sense. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. To answer your question, I'm a little more on the aggressive side. My background was cage fighting. Courtney's wasn't. I want to get in with your stories. I want to figure out, where is your story bullshit and how do we change it immediately? I love to root to the depths of truth and go, that's what we're dealing with here. What are you afraid of? Where are you weak? Where are you out of integrity? I had to learn a lot of lessons that life isn't black and white. But there's doing shit and there's not doing shit. And in between the two, there's usually a story. And usually the best way to blow that story up is to have someone say, I don't care about your story. Do it anyway. And then I'll let you talk to Courtney about why it hurts. She said it beautifully. Show me where you're wounded. Show me where you're bruised. And I'll help you heal. And I'll say, show me where you're weak. And I'll make you strong as fuck. That's what I do. That's how I coach. And that's why I think the combination of us working together is going to be absolutely brilliant. I know it's going to be brilliant. It's been brilliant in the past. Courtney, dive people through. So we're going to talk about this. This specifically was for a course and a challenge that we're putting on, which is 3 months in length. Courtney, would you go through the basic structure of it for people, the 3 parts that we've broken it into?
Yeah, definitely will. So there are 3 parts, and this is what we usually do. We skip part 1, which I'm about to explain to you, and we try. So it's like the people who like manifest, right? The manifesting thing where it's like, okay, I'm going to sit in meditation and manifest a mansion. no mansion. Like, I'm going to manifest like the hottest girl in the world. Like, not hottest girl in the world. The reason that you're not getting what you want is because you've not dealt with your shit. You've not dealt with your programming. You've not dealt with your beliefs, your stories, all the stuff that's wobbling you over the neck. So that's what we're going to do in month 1. We're going to figure out what your stories are, figure out what your beliefs are. You probably don't know all of the stories and beliefs. You might be aware of some of them. You're gonna be like, yeah, I definitely know that I have this thing around my body. But you're going to discover stories that you had no idea were lurking in your shadows. So that's going to come up. Trevor and
I
I
love it. Yeah, discovery. I'm going to be really offensive or moderately offensive that I used to work with people who had over 100 pounds to lose. And that's a really unique subset of humanity. And while I have immense compassion for them and the reasons, there's always something that happened to someone usually who has that challenge. The first thing I would do would be put them on a scale and say, we got to know. We got to know what the truth is. We got to know what the starting point is. Otherwise, it's just fantasy. Otherwise, we're just making it up. So the first month is a mirror, and it's hard. Guys, don't think that when you take the lid off of your personal challenges that they just sit there. Like, we're cool down here. They're like, oh, freedom, woohoo! And oh well, they'll find all the ways to come up, and you actually want them to. Because until we put your ass on the scale and be like, this is where you're at, we don't know what we're working with. And I agree with Courtney. Most people want to jump right to the victory part. How many people have made a vision board, the same vision board, for like 22 years? It's okay, right? I know how many people I know so many people that have been writing a book for a decade. It's something in the discovery that needs to come out. It's not like, unless you have broken fingers. And even today, like, didn't Stephen Hawking write a book? The dude was like, he had like half a mouth. Sorry, I know we're recording this. You can do it when you figure out your why, when you figure out what the challenge is, and when you figure out the story that's standing in your way. Cool. What's section 2, Court?
Section 2. So after we discover what there is to discover, this is when things start to get perhaps fun. No, definitely fun. Why? We are going to integrate. So we're going to rewrite. So after we have figured out what the programming is, the beliefs are, the thoughts are, the behaviors are, all the bullshit is, well, there's going to be a lot of space. There's going to be a lot of space in your life where you get to rewrite and redesign your story. And without all that old conditioning, it's going to be able to just plug, I don't want to say plug right in, but we're going to help you find the extension cord and the plug.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Who needs help building a vision? I didn't do it alone. I didn't do it in an afternoon. It took weeks. It took help. It took coaches. It had people. I can talk to you about the very first time someone ran me through a vision exercise, and I literally created a shopping list of like Lamborghinis, cars, planes. It was ridiculous. I was 25 making $10 an hour. The guy was like, maybe you want to redo this. But I was back in the Secret days, right? Anybody see The Secret? Wouldn't mind punching those people in the face. Thanks for the $9 I wasted and the thousands of times I sat there being like, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. So we're going to teach you to build a vision. You're going to build a vision. If anyone's like, God, I don't think I really want a vision. I just want to float through life aimlessly. This is not for you. I will hold your feet to the fire about building a vision. Will hold your feet to the fire. I listen to a recording of myself talking about my vision every single morning. Every single morning. No matter what. That's the kind of level we're looking to have you guys start playing at. How many of you listen to something that's beneficial to you in your own ear that you're creating every single morning? Goddamn right you do, V. Beautiful. We've talked before.
And you can do this alone, right? Like we talk about this, Trevor, all the time. Might take you a couple decades, but you can do it alone, or you could do this in 3 months. Seriously. With 2 people are holding you accountable, a group, it's just like, it's almost like we make it impossible not to, if you're committed.
Let's just throw another dickish question at everybody, or a dickish thought. Take a snapshot of your life. This is exactly how you're doing on your own. This is exactly how you do on your own. Sure, if you recently had a massive trauma that's knocked you down a bit, that's something to put into place. If you haven't, then no offense. This is how you do on your own. That's how I did on my own. That's how Courtney did on her own. That's why we have people who come in and say, okay, that's why I have coaches. It's why I spend my Friday mornings on the phone with a group. It's why I spend my Tuesday afternoons on the phone with an individual. It's why I'm flying to Hawaii next month to meet with a bunch of people to talk about storytelling. Because left to my own devices, I wouldn't have done it. So no offense, but take that snapshot, compare it to the vision, and go, what's the bridge between the two? I'll tell you what it is. It's accountability. It's a tribe of people that won't let you fail. It's about people reframing your bullshit story. It's about having people love on you and support you when things get hard, because they do. And this isn't all just pound, pound, pound. Stuff comes up. Stuff comes up. I spent a lot of time last year crying because it's fucking hard to take something from 0 to national. It's hard. Your little biological unit has to pay the price for the decisions you make. Right? Court, what's part 3? I feel like I'm rambling.
No, you're not.
I had too much soda.
No, it's beautiful. So beautiful. So the third part is where things really, really get fun. This is where we're going to be sending you out on challenges weekly. So you've rewrote your story, and at this point you're ready to meet growth edges that you weren't in month 1. You're ready to meet parts of yourself that you weren't in month 1. You're ready to take on challenges that you absolutely weren't ready at month 1, and we will be joining
you. Cannot wait for this section. Right? Imagine sitting here talking about, philosophizing about, thinking about, pontificating about, meditating on, doing hard shit, or having to go out and do hard shit. Right? How many of you have visualized the perfect articulate conversation? Like, I know how I'll discuss with my boss this thing. I know how I'll tell my partner I need this. And then there's a live human in front of you. And it's like, I was sure whatever you want. Definitely. That's what I was thinking. Same thing with all of these exercises. The rubber meets the road when we go, okay, you know that little drawing, like, here's your comfort zone. Here's you. Yeah, that's really what we're getting after. And that's where it all comes together. Who here has played a sport? Good. I can't see some hands, but I imagine. Imagine if once a week we got together and all we did was talk before you knew how to play the sport. This is especially something like swimming. So we draw pictures of a pool. We talk about how good it feels. We make you guys go like this, like on the Zoom call, right? And we do that for 12 weeks and then go like, cool, there's the ocean. God bless you, which is what most courses do, which is why they don't effing work. But then imagine if we took you all to the pool. Okay, let's get in together. Courtney and I are speedoing it up. We're all getting in together. This is swimming. Wow, the water feels weird. Wow, this is treading water. It's like it ain't real till it's real. So this is going to be the really, really exciting part. All right. Before we move forward with some of the other details, does anybody have questions? And for those of you who aren't showing your faces, you can unmute yourself, or if you want to throw you want to throw something in the chat. Absolutely, Jen. You don't know shit until you get caught in the current. I'm a surfer and was talking to someone the other day who was like, the ocean's so scary last time I was in it. And she like caveated this by being like, and I had my jeans on. I was like, oh my God, up to her knees. And it's like, I could feel the current. Like, I lifeguarded in the ocean. You don't know a damn thing, but you're right. You don't know shit until you get caught in the current. Questions? Anybody? Raise your hand. I'm going to start asking people individually. Ashley, any questions? Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. I guess I'm just kind of, I mean, I saw your Instagram post and today has just kind of been like a crazy. I had to hop off and get my kid to bed. And, you know, I feel like life is pretty amazing.
Okay.
But I also have had a relationship with a certain green flower for 30 no hold on, I'm only 34, so that would be really started at the age of 4. No, I'm just kidding. It's been like half my life. And it's definitely been a security blanket. And I've tried to give it up before, and you know, so it's like I know what it's like, and I know it's challenging. And I guess I'm just curious, first of all, like, what, you know, this is a 3-month thing. When does it start, and what exactly is like, is this right for me? You know, because it's something I'm just kind of exploring. And you know, your post today really inspired me to kind of reconnect with that I guess thing that I was seeking before, because I feel like I'm doing really, really well in my business. But I could take things to a level that is beyond just my wildest imaginings. And I know that I can give back and contribute to the world in a much bigger and better way. So it's not that it's holding me back. I mean, like, the thing is, like, it probably is holding me back.
Yeah, I was about to challenge the shit out of what you just said.
Okay, go.
Just that it's not holding you back, because you have a level you want to reach to.
Yeah.
And you're not there. And so,
well, that's the thing. It's like, I know that I'm on my way, but it's just, it's kind of removing the thing that's, that can help me, I guess, get there more quickly.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan, and I'll give you guys a bit of the breakdown of the actual logistics, but I'm a huge fan of taking as much action as possible, or taking the biggest impediment out, no matter what it is. Right? So it's, to me, I thought, okay, if I'm drinking and smoking 6-7 days a week, and I remove that, something has to take that space. Something has to take that space. Okay, wow. That's massive, because I was expending it, all of this energy, all of this time. And when the thing came in to take the space, everything jumped up, and everything jumped up, and everything jumped up. And I would question, perhaps, 1, what are you getting out of it? And 2, is it keeping you comfortable in a place that doesn't scare you? It's scary as shit to go, I could take something universal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, it's something that I experience really, really intense nightmares when I stop. Sometimes I experience dreams that are prophetic, and so it's like I'll dream something and then it'll happen the next day, and then I'm like really tripping out. What the fuck's going on? But I think that it probably keeps me off of, you know, I mean, like, I've had, like, with my mental health, it's like I've kind of had, like, you know, just you know, I have, like, a family history, and you know, but I'm going through a yoga teacher training, and I totally, you know, when I was exploring giving up before, I had someone who was asking me, well, you know, like, what are you going to do to replace that thing? Because it's like, this has been a security blanket for you, and it's totally fine to take it away, but there needs to be something else there to fill that kind of void that is going to, you know. And so it was something that I didn't really have, I guess, the tools or the discipline to employ the tools that I have. Right? Because it requires a lot more discipline to just do the thing that's not your habit. So that's where I kind of got, but doing the yoga teacher training, I'm like, all right, so I can, when I'm wanting to reach for that, then I can just, you know, use my breath, or, you know, like my yoga practice. Yeah,
definitely. You're going to be given, and Court, I'd love for you to jump in as well. I don't want to be the only one answering this question. If it's self-medication for a mental health issue, then the medication needs to be replaced, either with some form of alternative therapy, be that meditation, be that a breathing practice, be that acupuncture, or be that actual medication. or addressing it with therapy, addressing it with something else that gets to the root.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to make the decision, do I want to go back to that old modality? Do I want to go back to that? And that's okay, because then at least it's done consciously.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've had people that are like, yeah, I gave up drinking for a year and I added it back in. I'm like, good for you. Good for you. Did you do it consciously? Right? And 99 out of 100 of them have a different relationship now with alcohol than they did before. Where I know I used to smoke pot to go to sleep. And then that started at like 2 p.m. And I told myself when I quit, I will never sleep again. And now I sleep through the night perfectly. But I had to go to fucking therapy. I had to like deal with all that shit about my mom. I had to go sit in a dark hole for a while and do some other stuff and really, really shred the issues and do the work, which I imagine a yoga teacher training course is also going to be like, they're going to pull out from the bottom. Court, you've gone through a yoga teacher training. Would you like to address this?
I am a yoga teacher, and the breath is everything, and meditation helps. Pot was never like my go-to. I know Traver, it was for you, but I also know what it's like to create a story, and I'm not taking this away from you, but I know what it's like to be like, I'm not going to be able to sleep without this thing, or like, the nightmare things. Like these fears are real. Like they're very real. And I think it's up to you whether or not you're ready to elbow into that place. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what resources can we help you find along the way? So it's not just like, cool, give it up. And now you're having night terrors and, unable to get out of bed in the morning. It is a conversation that runs a little bit more deeply. And perhaps it's not something you go cold turkey on. Perhaps it's something you actually engage in a relationship with rather than just eliminate.
Definitely. This course is so much more than taking away the substance. That's just how we really want to push you into like crazy accelerated growth container that we described earlier. But I agree with Traver that like maybe for you don't take it all away immediately. Maybe it's like, all right, I'm going to go slow.
Ashley, are you still with us? I think you might have. Oh, okay, good. Your image froze. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
It's all good. No, I'm just.
Oh, there you go. You're back. Welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about the dance of the relationship. What we want to do is create a container within which you can dance.
Oh, I love that.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Court?
No, I just said I love that. Please.
Yeah. It's funny too, because it's like, I think that's actually like when I boil it down, that's actually what it is that I was told a few years back by someone who is very, very gifted in terms of divination.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that I need to give up pot that if I want to have a relationship, I need to give it up. And I've been
relationship with the divine or relationship with a human?
Oh no, with a human, like the divine. Okay. I'm like, we're good. You know what I mean?
You're homies. Gotcha.
Like I've been single for like a really obnoxious, just like it's not even right. And it's definitely stuff that needs to be healed, that I've been using that as like a numbing, I guess, mechanism. So
I think we just answered our own question. Yeah. So be willing to experiment. I'll pull Kobe out again. Yeah. Just be willing to experiment. Right? And adjust in the experiment. If you make a decision and then your biology isn't supporting that decision after a transition period, make a different experiment. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like there's work, not only it sounds like there is work for you to do.
That's being covered up. You're lit up right now at like, this is a real possibility. Like the part of you that was kind of like, oh wait, no, it has just come up, and like it's so clear, like you're vibrating at a higher vibration in this moment. So I'd say.
And thank you for sharing all this.
Yeah, definitely.
Very thank you.
And thank you for listening and holding space and for being here. Yeah,
our pleasure. Anybody else? Questions? Shalissa, Vanessa, Jen, whoever's at 928-266-4255. Corey, Any of the boys? Rafe, Vicky, questions? Any thoughts? Okay.
Can I share one other thought?
Sure, go for it.
Because maybe it will be helpful for someone else who's watching, who's maybe not yet ready to speak. But in the times, because it was probably like three or four times that I've tried to give it up already. And, you know, I've had like 30 days, I've had like over, I think like 120 days. And, you know, and I think like the biggest lesson that I learned through all of it was just how important it is to just have self-love. And, you know, because I would beat myself up no matter what. And, you know, and I just learned that no matter what I'm doing, and I need to love myself and be kind to myself. And so if you're trying to give something up and you feel, it's just like, you got to just get back up and try again, and don't beat yourself up.
Definitely.
You know?
Nothing will send you back to your crutch faster than beating the shit out of yourself.
Yeah.
Literally. All right, gang, let's talk some logistics and get you guys off this call and home. So we are kicking this event off, I believe, January 25th. Is that correct, Courtney?
That's right.
Which is next Friday. And it is a 90-day course. And here's how it's going to work. Every week, Courtney and I, or one of us, are going to lead a group call similar to this, where we check in, we talk about something in particular, and people get to share with the group, what are you going through? So you're not alone during this. You're just not alone, which is the single greatest thing that any challenge like this provides, is the sense of, okay, cool, I'm not a lone wolf out there by myself. We also want to be able to take you individually and deep dive with you. So we're going to be splitting twice a month. We're going to get each of you by ourselves for a call as well. So it's group stuff like, hey guys, here's what I'm going through. And privately, let's talk about whatever it is. And as you can tell, we work very differently, but it hasn't really come out on this call, but I have a very deep sense of compassion, and Courtney likes to fuck shit up in her life in ways that you can't imagine. But we're also going to be collaborating. You guys are our project because we've been through this and we know how hard it is and we know the benefit of it. So that's the basic structure of it. I think we're also having a community place for them to collaborate. Is that correct?
Yep. We're going to create a private Instagram because Trevor and I just hate Facebook with fiery passion. Yes, right? So we're going to do a private Instagram page and just going to be posting about what we went over and the call and just different stuff to keep you guys engaged. And then month 3, whenever the challenges come out, guess who you're going to see live video doing the challenges? Mr. Bohm. Right here. I'm already like, but it's going to be good. We're going to do all this together. And we can also pop on random lives just if we're feeling it. And you guys are on top of it. Like, I'm on fire. I want to share with y'all. So that's where we get to engage with one another.
Yeah, we really want to build this out as a team where most humans don't have a team after high school. And it's heartbreaking. And work is not a team. Sometimes work's a team, but there's a lot of like weird dynamics that not everybody has each other's best interests when it's work. But to create a team where we're like, okay, we're all in. You guys are going to get to know each other. You guys are going to be talking behind the scenes. You guys are going to be having accountability partners. You guys are going to be buddied up with people. So it's like, cool, you will not be alone. You will not be alone. And when do we end? Do you have that date?
I don't in front of me.
Okie dokie then. 12 weeks after we start,
all right.
it will end. And so also, guys, calls are recorded. So if you can't make a call, don't worry about it. You're going to get to hear what it is. You're going to get to hear what people are going through.
Be on the call, though.
I beg your pardon?
Be on the call.
Did you say what day of the week?
Yeah, we're going to be doing this, I believe, Sunday nights. Is that correct, Court?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday nights for the call. And yeah, be on the call. Don't upset Courtney. And 12 Sundays in a row, stuff's going to come up. And that's okay, right? That stuff's come up. Okay, Court. I'm not going to ask you specifically because I kind of know. To get both of us together for 3 months is going to cost you around $10,000. We're not pricing the course at $10,000. We've dropped it to $997 for the 3 months, which is like $330 a month. If you're giving something up, I would question you how much you spend on it per month. Just think about it. and all the other ancillary shit that comes with it. And then are you willing to make an investment like that into yourself just for 3 months? It is an amazing deal, and you guys should definitely take this. We're posting the link here. Anybody not see that in the chat? CourtneyMcNabb.com/intoxicate. So everybody got the chat? I'm not alone in that, right? Cool. We want to hop on the phone with all of you before this goes, right? And this isn't some fancy like, oh my God, it's by invite only. No, but we want to know who the humans are that are joining us. I want to have a conversation with you. Courtney wants to have a conversation with you. Questions about this, guys?
Yeah. I know some of you have them.
Maybe we should just make everybody ask a question.
I would love that.
Okie dokie then. Rafe, what would you like to know? You're now unmuted. Any questions? Anything you want to share? Anything you learned? One takeaway from the call?
I probably know Courtney better than you, obviously, but I love the angles that y'all tackled these issues with. You know, you explained that your side is just like, get to the point. Where's the weakness at? And then Courtney's like, where's your tender spots at? You know, but I know that both of you can be very opposite, you know.
Whoopsie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if one of you switches, the other one goes, you know, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Awesome.
Questions, I'm probably still trying to formulate questions.
Okay.
But,
no worry.
I'm glad to be a part of this
Awesome.
call right here. I mean, it kind of, I probably had the same understanding that a lot of people did, or the misunderstanding is that it was strictly about just stop drinking, you know,
right.
Like 90 days. I mean, sometimes that can feel like eternity, you know,
right.
Sometimes 90 days can feel like a year. And
right.
after this call, it feels so much more comfortable. And whenever you phrased it like just an experiment, like
right.
that just took pressure off of the shoulders. And I know it probably, a lot of people felt that way.
Beautiful.
So if I had any questions, a lot of the questions that I had was probably answered through this call.
Awesome. Thanks, Rafe. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Vanessa, you're up.
I had to unmute. Mine's more of just a comment. Is that I really appreciate, especially Ashley, sharing her stuff just like on this call. I didn't expect to hear something like that tonight. I certainly have my own habitual patterns that I dabble in, and I took away that I'm not alone. Right. I also have been single for a really long time and often keep a lot of that stuff in my own world that I don't necessarily share with everybody, you know, and if I do, I want it to feel like it's in a place of compassionate awareness, that there's no judgment, and most off with, you know, with myself. But I love the feeling of not thinking that I would be alone in something like this. And again, similar to the previous comment, I'm sorry, I didn't remember the gentleman's name, but Rafe, and just, you know, I wasn't sure tonight coming in. I like your calls. Draper, obviously know you. Courtney, I'm just meeting you for the first time. So I'm also a yoga teacher. I know Kobe. She's one of my girls. So I have a lot of background with certain things, but it doesn't make me a perfect person. And I don't think anybody is perfect. And I don't even think that's the goal for me. But I think that there are things and habitual patterns that stop me from evolving into my highest self. Yeah. So thank you for sharing all of that, and not just making it about drinking, but about a lot of different things, you know.
Thank you so much for sharing that too, V. Sure. We had to pick a direction, and it's so hard with something like this. If we shotgun it out of like, change your life in 90 days, oddly enough, people don't show up. And if we have one little stake in the ground, like, okay, it's a sobriety challenge, and then swing around the back and say, it's actually not. Although we want you to be fully present, and what's the best way to be fully present is to remove that. So I appreciate your thoughts on it and your contribution. Shalissa, you're up. I know you're probably terrified that I'm going to call on you, so I'm calling on you. Bam, let's hear it.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, I'm a little terrified. I'll say that.
Good. Welcome to the revolution.
I have gone through, in the past year and a half, a lot of my own shit of realizing I had a shopping issue. Never drugs. I was 29 the first time I ever tried an edible. And I'm 30, so that was just last year at Bonnaroo, which was the perfect place to try it nonetheless. But yeah, no, shopping was it for me, and it was a numbing. It was just numbing. But anyway, I've been able to fix it without any issues. I would say there's lots of things though. I mean, this can go for anything, not just the alcohol. So anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I know I just threw you on the spot. It doesn't matter what the thing is. The thing is irrelevant. And the beauty of getting 20 people in a room and everybody thinking that like somehow their thing is the worst thing, and then realizing like, oh wow, we really shame a lot of people societally for certain things and like maybe not so much for others. But man, we're all going through the same thing. And it's just whatever cap of numbness we decide to choose or what chooses us is irrelevant. It's all about filling in that sense of emptiness, that sense of loss, that I like to call it like the throb of pain that's coming up, and that we're just trying to push that throb of pain down. But when we have a really safe container to be like, okay, man, fucking throb, get out of here. And we work through it and we're willing to share it. And even just what you just said, it's massive. It's not, it may not be healing, but it's well on the road too. So well done and thank you. Corey, you're up. I want to get this. This is an international call, everybody, just so we know.
Yeah, Canada.
No.
You can do it.
Talk to us.
So how's everyone going? I'm from Canada, where it's really cold and snowy, and we don't have polar bears. We don't live in igloos. Thank you for having me. It's really nice to see that I'm not the only one that has any sort of concern. You know, I'm not a special snowflake. I'm normal just like everyone else, you know. So I don't drink or do drugs or anything like that, but I definitely have my own things to deal with. So it's just nice to be part of this. Thanks for having me.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for contributing, man. We're glad to have you. Vicky, I'm not sure if you can you hear? Vicky, I'm unmuting you. Can I unmute Vicky? Vicky, are you hitting? Oh, there we go. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Chime in real quick for us.
Okay.
You doing okay?
Big breath.
Yeah.
I'm just listening.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to share or any question that you may have? It can be 5 words or just a nod.
I think there was a woman who basically asked a lot of the questions. The first woman that spoke, she had like a lot similar questions that were in my head right now, but I can't think of nothing else right now. Okay.
Okay, beautiful. Just saying 3 words is often a huge step, so thank you. Well done.
What?
I said sometimes just saying 3 words is a massive step, so thank you.
Okay.
Yep. I don't even know your name, but I'm unmuting the phone number. Hello, 928-266-4255.
Hey, Traver, it's Eric Staley. How you doing? Hi,
oh,
Courtney.
Eric,
Hi,
it's you. Oh, we can see you. Oh, sorry, man.
What's up, dude?
What's up, brother?
Oh, man. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Any thoughts on what you just heard or sat through? Or
Do you guys want to go another 2 hours?
Tell me.
No, I'm just joking. I don't know where to lead with other than
how did the
thank
call
goodness
make
for
you
you.
feel?
Capable.
Yeah. Okay.
It's everything. The universe brings things right on time.
Okay.
You and I have talked a little bit in the past, and I appreciate all that you've done. You're magic.
Thank you.
I want everyone to know I got turned on to you by my ex-girlfriend during a pretty difficult breakup. She was actually listening to you as we were kind of not doing well. And I'm suffering from amphetamine addiction for the second time in my life after 20 years sobriety. After 6 years of shifting everything I do, meditation, yoga, counseling, psychiatry, the medicines for the mental side of it, all of it. Anyway, I can't go to treatment at the moment. And when I got your email today, I'm so excited for the call. So I just hope that, you know, I can be a part of this. And my ultimate goal, my process, I'll keep it very simple. I went from being raised by a narcissistic mother and having no sense of self to being introduced to myself about 6 years ago. 30 days prior to my ex-wife leaving. You may be familiar. I started seeking help within because I was told that my business was successful at the time because we ran it with integrity. And it destroyed that, and it shouldn't have a sense of not being a good father, husband, all that kind of stuff. So I went proactive, even though I did lose everything to get to this moment. I'm now suffering from my soul saying, get the shit out of here. You don't need it anymore. I need to let myself continue to grow, and I've been stuck thinking about it too much. So thank you for having me, and I'm glad everyone's here and nobody is alone.
Thank you so much for contributing, man. It took a shit ton of courage.
Dude,
doesn't matter where we're at. Right?
Thank you. Something about you, Shana James. There's so much help out there. So everyone that's here is here for a reason. And
Amen.
And Courtney, you're amazing. Congratulations on your sobriety and year. And you know, I want to get this part behind me so I can help others like me in the future. But I can't do that sick.
Yeah. What's one thing you can do to get yourself some help? Is there anyone you can reach out to?
I was on a call right before this.
Okay.
I just recently, about 60 days ago, after 5 years of denial, told my children that I was experiencing this again. And, you know, so there's I have about half a dozen people that I've confided in, but this is very private as much as it needs to be.
Yep.
A team, like you're saying, but that team, it's not easy to find all the time. And I've been very fortunate, like I said, to be turned on to you and others, and to be sitting here and knowing that there's more, and I don't have to be this way, and I don't want to be this way, but unfortunately chemical dependency is real. And
definitely.
So I mean,
brother.
Right on. I can't send enough love to all of you, and you especially, Trevor. Thank you.
And we're sending it right back to you, brother. Take care, okay? And do this for me. Reach out to one person tonight, okay?
I
do
will.
That for me. All right, and I'll be in touch with you too. Cheers, man.
You got it, sir. Thanks, Court.
Jen.
All right. So, well, you, Court, and Vicky already know, like, in the past month, I've literally lost almost everything in my life. I lost a job that has been my identity, that was my core group of friends that I also worked with. I built my team. I built out of a program, got a school into compliance, worked my ass off for 2 years, and had it all ripped away. And it's been the greatest thing that's ever happened. So it's a really fucked up thing where I go through a shit ton of emotions. I literally sat in the bathtub yesterday crying for like 45 minutes, just not even taking a bath, just sitting in the tub crying, because that's where I like to cry. Also, airports are where I like to cry now, in the middle of the airport.
Yeah.
Just it. Court got those text messages, but it's been a lot of emotions, especially with students reaching out to me, their families reaching out. But I saw how much it consumed me. And now it's like I'm kind of just forced to slow down and take a break and reevaluate. And what I'm learning is I don't know what the fuck I want in my life, but I don't want what I had.
Ooh, it's a beautiful place to be.
So right now it's been a cycle of purging stuff that I don't need, relationships I don't need. and trying to get back to a meditation and yoga practice, because I do need to start bringing those things back into my life. And I also realize I need someone else to kick my ass and not just myself kicking my ass right now.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. Good. I'm sorry this is happening to you, and fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just got the slate wiped clean, and
that's
happens.
Exactly. It's, you know what? I knew it was going to happen. It just was a matter of when, and living life knowing that you're on a clock and it's going to happen. I'm glad it happened now versus carrying out 6 months, a year, whatever it is, because it gives me that start. Why not get that start while I can, instead of 10 years from now where I'm just destroyed?
Amen. Good for you. Welcome. I'm ready to roll my sleeves up. We're going to get fucking dirty with you. This is good. This is really good. I believe that's everybody. I picked on everybody. Squirrel Shell? Squirrel Shell.
Really?
Who's this? Hi.
Shoot.
I'm Trevor. Tell me your name. You there? Can you hear me? If not, it's not a worry. Okay. Can you speak, Michelle? I can hear you typing. Hi.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're doing great.
Apparently that's how it works. Okay.
Hi, Michelle. Any thoughts you'd like to share? Any questions you have? Anything you'd like to add to the conversation?
You know what? I apologize. I just clicked on Instagram and saw that this was going on and thought I would click over here.
Okay.
I have not heard any previous conversation to this yet.
Cool.
Just got here.
Welcome. So we're about to wrap it up. We're going to take a couple deep breaths. If Courtney has anything to add.
Yeah, just one really quick thing is, this is why that you're suffering, because you're suffering silently and alone. And just this call, right?
Yeah, holy shit.
We're all like, dang, like I thought I was special, or I thought, it was just me. And it's like, no, dude, it's not. And then you hear other people's stories, you're like, wow. So it's just so powerful to be in a group where you will, like, no judgment, like no shame, like bring it on. Like whatever the deepest, darkest part of you that you thought you could never share, this is the group that you can. And this is the group where you can rewrite the story. It starts here.
Amen. I have nothing to add on top of that. Beautifully stated. Thank you, Court. Let's close this out together as we began. Let's take a couple deep breaths. Let's return back into our lives. So feet flat on the floor, please. Eyes closed. Deep breath in. Find those two places again, that place below your belly button and that place on your heart. Feel your power. Feel your ability to make change. Feel the love you have for yourself, for everybody who showed up on this call and shared. And Eric, we're going to take one big breath together and we're going to throw so much fucking love at you right now. So please do that. Take a deep breath. We've got someone who's really hurting. Just keep him in your heart. Be proud of yourselves for being here. Be proud of yourselves for showing up. Be proud for yourself. Be proud for each other. Courtney and I are proud of you. We have so much love for people who are willing to just show up. So feel that love from us as well, please. Let's take one deep breath together. Blow it out. Slowly open your eyes. And in honor of the woman that so many of us know, let's do a lightning ohm. Does anybody know what a lightning ohm is? Courtney, do you know what a lightning ohm is? This is a Kobe Kozlowski special. So we're going to take our hands. We're going to go like this. And we're going to go ohm. On 3. We just say it. Ready? We go 1, 2, 3. Ohm. Ohm. That's it. It's a lightning ohm. Yeah, it's magic. Thank you guys. We are obviously, you know how to get a hold of us. We would love to have everybody on here in the course.
Do they though? They know.
Do you guys know how to get a hold of us? You can
Facebook.
hit me through Instagram. Here, let me throw. Courtney, what's the best email for you?
Do Courtney at totalselfalchemy.com.
totalselfalchemy.com.
And we'll get you right on a call because I want to talk to you.
Traver at traverbohm.com, or hit me up on Instagram. Most people know how to find me on Instagram. It's at traverbohm. Courtney's at Total Self Alchemy. Hit us with questions, guys. Let's do shit together. Let's build something together. You got a taste of it. This couldn't have gone. This is it. And as Courtney said, we get to experience each other and share from each other and realize that we're not alone in this. And we get to watch each other win. We get to see the other side. We get to go, man, if she can do it, I can do it. If she can build that thing, I can build that thing. If she can step over that precipice, I can step over that precipice. Fuck yeah. Thank you for your time. Court, I love you. You're fucking magic. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.